You know that feeling, right? You uninstall an antivirus program, but you can't shake the suspicion that it's still there, kind of lurking in the background, causing weird little glitches, maybe even trying to pop back up. Well, you're not imagining it. It's a super common and frustrating problem. Antivirus software is built to dig its hooks deep into your system, which, ironically, makes it a real pain to get rid of completely. So let's talk about the AV Complete Removal tool, a way to perform a real digital deep clean and finally take back control.
So let's just ask the question straight out. You clicked on install, you did the reboot, but is that old software really gone? The answer, more often than not, is a big fat nope. That nagging feeling you have in the back of your mind? Yeah, it's probably right. Your standard uninstaller just scratches the surface.
And this slide right here lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the standard uninstall, which leaves behind a whole trail of digital junk. We're talking about leftover registry keys causing conflicts, scheduled tasks that try to bring the software back from the dead, and hidden services just eating up your resources. But on the other side, that's what we're aiming for. A totally clean slate. Zero remnants, zero conflicts, and you get full system control. It's night and day.
Yeah, these unwanted remnants, they're the real problem here. They aren't just dead files taking up a bit of space. Oh no. They're more like digital landmines, just waiting to mess with your new software, slow your whole system down, and this is the really annoying part. Sometimes they use hidden network connections to phone home to the vendor.
And that brings us right to the core philosophy behind this tool. It's all in that quote. Zero tolerance, complete removal. This isn't about a good enough uninstall. The whole mission is absolute. It's about leaving nothing, and I mean nothing behind. It's about taking back control from software that is literally designed to be hard to get rid of.
So how does it actually do all this? Well, it's kind of like a multi-pronged attack. First, it dives deep into the registry, way deeper than a normal uninstaller would ever go, to find all those hidden entries. Then it hunts down and just obliterates those sneaky services and scheduled tasks. And this part is key. It actually blocks the AV vendors' networks to stop any sneaky reinstallation attempts in their tracks. Best of all, for your peace of mind, it automatically makes backups before it does anything destructive.
Okay, so we've covered the why, which is super important. Now let's get our hands dirty with the how. We're going to walk through how to actually master this removal process and really take full control of your system's health.
Now, hold on. Before you just start clicking delete on everything, there's one really important concept you've got to understand: the confidence level. See, this tool isn't just a sledgehammer. It's smart. It gives every single thing it finds a rating, telling you exactly how sure it is that an item is junk. This is the feature that lets you make informed, safe decisions.
And this table here, it's your cheat sheet. Anything marked high confidence, that's the obvious stuff. Think files with the antivirus name right in them. Those are almost always safe to zap. Low confidence items, though. You want to take a closer look at those. They might be shared files, so review them first. And then you've got system entries. These are protected parts of Windows. You can't touch these without special access. And don't worry, we'll get to that in a minute.
The process itself is actually incredibly simple. It really just boils down to 4 steps. First, you pick your target. Say you want to get rid of Avast. Second, you hit scan and let the tool do its thing, hunting down every last trace. Third, you review what it found, using those confidence levels we just talked about to make your choices. And finally, when you're ready, you hit that big remove button. It's simple, but it's decisive and so powerful. But hey, how do you know, really know, that it worked? That's what the Verify Clean button is for. After you've done the removal, you run one more scan, and when that scan comes back with 0 entries found, oh man, that is the most satisfying feeling. It's proof that your system is finally truly clean.
So you've slayed the beast. Awesome. But how do you keep its ghost from coming back to haunt you? That's where the next phase comes in, locking your system down to make sure those digital ghosts stay gone for good.
The whole point of the firewall lockdown feature is simple but really powerful. It's designed to stop that old antivirus from trying to claw its way back onto your computer, which can sometimes happen sneakily through things like Windows updates. It just severs the connection completely. No more phoning home.
And the way it works is pretty clever. It's a 2-pronged attack. First, it sets up new rules in your Windows firewall to just block all network traffic going to or from the antivirus company's servers. Second, it adds the vendor's domains to your Windows hosts file. Think of the hosts file as your computer's own private do not call list. By adding the vendor's web addresses there and pointing them to nowhere, you're telling your PC to just ignore them. It's a rock-solid block at a really fundamental level. And just look at this, for example. The tool knows the exact IP ranges that companies like Avast and AVG use. When you hit that lockdown button, it creates firewall rules that block every single address in these ranges. It's like building a custom digital fortress just to keep that one unwanted guest from ever knocking on your door again.
Okay, now let's be real. Even with the best tools in the world, sometimes you're going to hit a snag. But don't sweat it. We're going to arm you with everything you need to know to handle even the toughest cases like a total pro.
This is probably the #1 issue you might run into. You find one of those really stubborn registry keys. You click remove, and bam, Windows hits you with access denied. This almost always happens with those protected system-level entries we talked about earlier. But yeah, there are definitely ways around it.
You've got two great options here. The first one's for the power users, using a seriously cool utility from Microsoft called PXX. It's a little command line tool that lets you run programs with the absolute highest level of permissions possible, system level. It's like giving the removal tool a master key to your entire computer. The second option, it's a classic for a reason. Just boot your computer into safe mode. In that stripped-down environment, a lot of Windows' usual protections are off, which often lets you delete those stubborn files without a fight.
And here are just a few other rapid-fire fixes for common hiccups. If a scan comes up with nothing, 9 times out of 10, you just forgot to run the tool as an administrator. That's a must. If a scan is taking forever, you can just pop into the settings and lower the timeout value for a quicker, though maybe less thorough result. And if the app won't even start, just double-check that you have the right version of Python installed. That usually does the trick.
So what does all of this really mean? It means by understanding how this works, by using things like confidence levels and knowing how to troubleshoot, you're no longer just a passive user. You are back in the driver's seat. You get to decide what runs on your machine, what stays, and what gets kicked out for good. You are in complete control.
And that leaves us with one last thought. We've been focused on antivirus software today, but this whole idea of a deep clean, it applies to so much more. So the next time you uninstall any program, don't just take its word for it that it's gone. Dig a little bit deeper. You might be surprised by what you find, and you might just discover a few more digital ghosts hiding on your machine, just waiting to be exercised.